be beautiful minds, you know. And when I'm with their parents, I thank them for the opportunity to nurture such beautiful minds. Because, you know, it just wasn't always an opportunity here where they could just come here and enjoy. And we do have those entities still around, but they have an understanding that they can make a change. And I tell my babies, because I love them dearly, and when I approached them, I said, every day of your life you can make a different decision.
These young students are setting an example for children all over the world, not just here, but all over the world, because it's going to be all over the world. You know, young people will be looking at you and want to be like you. So I want you to know that you're role models, and that's a heavy, heavy responsibility. But you know what? And you're going to fall along the way, and you're going to get up along the way. But you are making a difference. You choose to make a difference. That's the difference. You chose to make the difference. I'm just excited to have met Dr. Wiley and meet all of you. Just beautiful. I want to tell you about this man that's sitting across from me. I met him over the radio. And so everybody in this room, we met over some type of technology. When he heard the call out for help in the Delta, the same YouTube video that you were talking about, it's the same place where he drove a U-Haul of beautiful clothing, food, clothing from Africa, from Ghana, to give to the people in Glendora where those young people was saying, please help us. And he went back home, and a week later, the tornado took place. And he came back with a 24-footer this time. He drove it all the way from Cincinnati. And I was asking this question. I said, Father, everything is coming out of Ohio. But I remember in the history that Queen Mother Harriet Tubman, she took this route, and she brought those to freedom. And now there's still those left behind, and what I see is that now she is saying there was more. I could have freed more if they just really realized that they were slaves. Now what you're saying as students, I'm going to go back and help. And through education, you're really helping to set them free. You're going to have that opportunity to meet those young people who is asking for that help, to look at how they live. Hopefully we can look at their schools so you can compare it to your school, and you will see what a wonderful place you come from. And you're going to appreciate your school because they don't have the state-of-the-art technology like you have. And most importantly, caring staff and leaders like what you have here. So Dr. Wiley, this is
Well, thank you. It's an honor for us as well. I know they're excited about it. We've talked, and again, I don't know if the magnitude of what they have begun, but I tell you, I don't think it's going to be long. I think once they make that trip, because my eyes have seen, but my kids and Mrs. Rankin have not seen. I know what it can look like, and it has looked like. And I think they will have a great appreciation being able to help.
Wonderful.
She told me, I'm not staying.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw the cotton plants on 2 days ago, and they're kind of like getting ready. So hopefully, that month will make a difference. They would hopefully see some bugs or something.
Right. I remember my first. I was with my grandparents, and they had gone out to see a cousin who stayed on still, the plantation areas. They were green. I remember those homes, those shotgun homes being green. And we went out to visit him. His name was Jesse. And they were sitting on the porch and, turning homemade ice cream and talking as adults do, and we were playing around. And I don't know, I may have been 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old. So I saw the cotton. Cotton was all around us. So I walked out down the steps, dirt everywhere, walked out to the cotton field. And I was about, because I was fascinated, and I was about to grab that bowl. And my grandma said, "Don't you touch that." I was like, I mean, it startled me. And I looked at her, and her face was, she was like, come here. And I walked up to my grandmother, and she said, you know what, Johnetta, I'm sorry. She said, you know what, baby, come here. She took me to that, she said, touch that guy. Don't touch it. And she brought me back up and put me on her lap. She said, you know, from the time I was 3 years old, I had to chop this and pick this until I married and left home. She said, and I promised myself that nothing that ever came from my loins would ever have to walk in this field. And she said, but I apologize because this is not your world, and I know you will not have to do this. She said, so you go on and touch this. And she let me touch it. But I remember that because she startled me. I mean, she said it was just like they were talking and she saw me and it was like, bam, don't touch that. And I'm looking like, Mom, are you, I mean, I didn't do anything. And then she regrouped as you would hope an adult would do. And she explained to me, this is an issue I need to get past. It's my issue, and let me walk you out here and make sure you touch this. So I just remember seeing just, you know, in the Delta, everything's flat. We used to laugh because we used to joke that we're Deltas in the Delta, and everything was totally flat out there, and you would see it forever. And all my folk are from around Greenwood and Berkeley, and all those places between Greenville. They have educated us in many ways, and they understand that being poor is a problem in this country, being impoverished. You know, we talked about this gentleman, Edward Smith. I mean, we went through this so much that it felt like I know Edward Smith, who is a white gentleman from Greenville. The working poor, on 10 medications for diabetes, no means to get health care. These are the conversations that we've had. These people were alive for us around this table. And I told my kids, when you speak about these folks, we got to speak, people need to understand through our conversation what this is and what it means, what we've learned when we watch these documentaries. And I believe, you know, because it was home for me, they saw my face, it really hit hard for me. Because then you start to feel, okay, I'm here, I'm giving so much, and my home is just falling apart. You know, so they've grown. I mean, they understand, and they really understand that this is not about color, it's about class. And being in poverty, and something that people don't want to do a lot of time, and rural, and well, another thing, they learn rural poverty in the South is something totally different. They, as Jadon said to me one day, he said, Dr. White, I thought that we've stayed in some places. Said it has nothing on that. So
I also want to note that it's very good to see students of all colors come together. To make a change in this world. This is your world. I apologize for all that we have done as adults to mess this world up for you. And the reason that I'm saying that, because we are much older than you. You are my future, and I'm concerned. And the best investment I can ever make in life is through children. And I want to see this world be safe for you. I want to see this world be beautiful for you. And the only way that I know to do it is to give back something to you. So that when it's your turn, this is your world too. And we all have a responsibility to make it a great place to live. And so joining hands of people all around the table, coming from different colors and different backgrounds, that's what it's all about.